she's just got something. And she got the 40 under 40 from Jacksonville Business Journal. But that it doesn't. She's just extraordinary. And I always love people tell their own stories. So you will see. But please welcome Rebecca or Becca Levin.
There we go. Untold Stories.
I'm Babs Colaciello, and I'm a storyteller. I've been a storyteller my entire life. I figured that out when I was very young because no one listened to me. But if I sang or told a story, everyone got quiet. And so basically, I'm a shaper of stories, yours and mine.
This is the look. It looked a little crazy on camera. We're adding choreography.
That's usually me. I mean, I'm pretty sure we literally had a guy do like a backflip one time.
Yeah, with the pack on?
With the pack on, yeah. That pack is crazy. Yes, so.
I will not be doing that. Sound check. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Whew. Oh, look who just made it onto the vlog. Hey.
Hey, Babs. Hey. How's it going?
Hey. Oh, that's me.
That's you, Crystal?
That is me.
That is your voice.
That's so wonderful.
How we're going to live our life needs to have some substance and some basis from the past. Now, some stories can be awful to pass down. Some people tell you stories and it can really influence your morality, your perspective on the world. It could be narrow. So it's a job of each person to figure out the path that they're going to take. But the act of sharing story from the past, the present, and your dreams, one-on-one especially, or in groups, breathing life into your past is so much more dynamic than reading a book, which we know alters lives. But there's something about that one-on-one experience. I believe when you're breathing in the same room, that there's a real transference. You can feel the person's pain or passion, and that's where true empathy comes.
Here's the deal. You're going to stand at the edge. We're going to throw you a bar. You're going to grab it. We're going to count to 3, and you're going to jump.
Now, of course, you have to have a story. One of my biggest challenges is people want to do this, and I know they could be good at it. They want to tell me their entire life story, and for us to figure out how it connects to the theme. I want someone to say, I want to do this, and there was this time that this happened. Really talk, like really share, let's really empathize and listen to the things people go through. And people just don't have opinions. They get them from somewhere. They've evolved from somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Yes.
Numa's on the vlog. So Saul.
Check 1, 2. Yeah, mic check 1, 2.
The craziest, it was the funniest, it was the most challenging. It's been the hardest. I didn't talk about it. Those are the moments that we can explore and grow. And that's what we're exploring.
And there's just like this little dude holding on to the back of my pants, and I'm just leaning forward, and then I reached for it, and I've never held on to something harder in my life, and they went 1, 2, 3, and I went, whoo.
Well, I can remember where we were. You said to me, I want to do an Untold Stories. And you said it in a way like you think you wanted to do an Untold Stories, but you said it, and I said, okay, you need a story. And you're like, yeah. But it's stuck in my mind that you said that. And I just thought, I've seen you dance, we've had conversations, and I obviously knew who you were. And I thought, well, Rebecca could certainly be interesting. And so that you were on my list. I told you the theme, and you were like, oh, all right, I'm going to think about it. And I think, yeah, like something triggered. I love the fact that you use your body dynamically. And then when you came back to me and said, I'm taking a sabbatical and exploring, the space above, and the theme was clouds, and that whole idea of the aerial, and it was different. I'm like, nobody's going to tell a story that has to do with this. And also that you were super curious yourself, like you were already on a journey of exploration, which was the perfect place to be to explore the story. So I knew that you would be a good storyteller. You were ready for it.
The great choreographer Agnes DeMille said, "The universe lies before you on the floor, in the air, in the mysterious bodies of your dancers, and in your mind. And from that voyage, no one returns poor or weary."
That you're there and you're unfolding the story right in front of the audience. That's where the genius comes from. It's being in the moment and being willing to be that vulnerable in that moment, because who wants to go visit pain?
In June of 2002, I was 22 years old, and my mother was 52 years old. And I stopped at her house unannounced, and I opened the door to witness her having a massive stroke.
I always say, if you're not touched, we're not touched. You have to be willing. And sometimes I say to people, if you're not going to be able to do that, then let's include that in the story. Or then you don't really have a story because you're avoiding too much of it. You're not ready to tell it. And accept that. But that's not a good time to work with me.
How are you feeling?